Hey, good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining today's session on a Saturday evening. And I hope you guys are having a splendid weekend. And I appreciate you guys are here, that you're taking the time to learn something new on a weekend. Really appreciate it. And today we are going to be talking about Azure OpenAI Assistant. And today we have our speaker, Janardhanan, who is a Microsoft MVP and also a certified trainer in Microsoft. And he is a senior specialist at Evident. So he is going to take us through the topic and help us better understand about our Azure OpenAI Assistant. Before we get into the session, I just wanted to share about a great opportunity that Code Without Barriers is offering for women in Asian. So let me just take the presentation. Okay. Hope the presentation is visible. Awesome. So yeah, this I just want to talk a bit about Code Without Barriers and how Code Without Barriers is, helping the woman in Asian. So started in 2021, Code Without Barriers initiative is all about promoting diversity and inclusion, especially in cloud and AI. And Code Without Barriers is on a mission to close the gender gap, is providing female developers, creators, and tech entrepreneurs with skills, networking opportunities, and mentorships to be thriving in the tech region. To Code Without Barriers program, there is empowering women across ASEAN region and stepping into leadership roles and making a wave in technology. If you are even starting in the tech career or even already in the tech career and you want to be upscaling, Code Without Barriers is your place to be going. So there, as you can see, there's a lot of opportunities that Code Without Barriers is offering, like scaling on cloud and AI, and also there is a mentorship from the community and hackathons where there is opportunity for women, especially for job and other region for hackathon. So it will be a great opportunity for you to be upscaling your knowledge in the region. So I have already shared the link. I'm going to again share the link. Also, you can scan this particular code where you can directly take you to where you can register for it. So this is a great opportunity. There is a lot of AI training that they are doing completely for free, and you can dive directly into it. And there's a lot of mentorships, mentors who are already there who can guide you in the right direction. So I hope you will take action and take some have some momentum in your career and your journey. So I'm just going to share the link directly in the chat box if in case you're not able to scan it. And there is also a community or on specific, there is a LinkedIn community. If you are want to know latest updates on Code Without Barriers as well, I shared in the chat box. Feel free to check it out. And there is a lot for the woman in the Asia region. So yeah, that's it from my side. I hope you will take some uh, action over it. And yeah, that's it on my end. I just wanted to move the presentation and stage to Janardhan to get started with the session. Over to you.
Hey, thank you, Surak, for giving me the opportunity to again present in this community. And wonderful opportunity you have been explaining about the code without barriers. So I'm also part of the Code Without Barriers mentorship program. So you can also feel free to connect me for the Code Without Barriers program. So we do provide a certification related to artificial intelligence platform, AI 900, AZ 900. and the data fundamentals. So every Saturday, like third Saturday, we used to conduct for the Code Without Barriers program. And so such type of program I used to post on my LinkedIn forum. Please free to connect and feel free to join it. And related to the certification front, since I'm a part of the Microsoft Learn Expert, the participants who are joining the Microsoft Learning Room, we will be providing the 50% voucher as well. So at the end of the session, I'll be telling you how to get the 50% voucher if you're interested for the Code Without Barriers program as well as the certification related programs. So without a further delay, the topic of the today's session is about, uh, I think someone has raised a hand. Yes, your question, please.
I think they have lowered the hand right now.
Okay. The topic for today is empowering innovation with Azure OpenAI assistance. So already Surag has given me the introduction part about myself. So I am Janardhanan Selvaraj. I'm a Microsoft certified trainer as well as Microsoft certified most valuable professional in the AI category. And I'm a Microsoft Learn expert as well. And if you want to connect me, please feel to connect me in my LinkedIn handle as well as so I'm posting, I'm a YouTuber, I'm posting videos related to internship opportunities as well as scholarship opportunities and the certification related opportunities, plus the technology updates I used to post it. And you can connect me in my LinkedIn handle as well as for the updates related to internship, scholarship, as well as your technology related opportunities and the free certifications for the students and working professionals. Please connect me on the YouTube. So you'll be getting free certification, which is going to come in the month of October first week. You can check out from that YouTube channel. And the agenda for today is what is the purpose of this Azure OpenAI Assistance API? When it comes to Assistance API, what are the different types of components available? How this Assistant API we are going to check out in terms of the playground. How do you set up an Assistant API in your Azure OpenAI Studio, or it could be an Azure AI Studio? In terms of environmental setup, we will do that. And different assistant API tools are available like functions, files, search option, code interpreter. Those tools we will be discussing as part of assistant tools. And we'll move on to the assistant API architecture flow. Then we'll see on the hands-on part of the Azure OpenAI Assistance, followed by the pricing aspect of Azure OpenAI Assistance. When it comes to the Azure OpenAI Assistance, it is used to build any type of assistance, or you may able to customize your assistant based upon your needs, based upon your expectations in order to build an application in generative AI platform. When it comes to any generative AI application development, assistance plays a vital role in terms of tailoring your needs based upon your own assistant applications. It could be a travel assistance, it could be your finance assistance, or it could be your data analyst assistance, or even it could be your mathematical assistance. Various types of assistance it is possible to create with the help of the Azure OpenAI Assistance API. And related to the assistance API, we have several tools are present. When I say I talked about the tools, we have code interpreter to do all mathematical calculations. And there are some tools known as you can upload your files and you're able to chat with your files. And you can create your custom functions with the help of your Azure OpenAI assistants. Or even it is possible to create a logic app to make your workflow easy with the help of your Azure OpenAI assistants. This is the overall purpose. Why do you need an assistant API when it comes to the Azure OpenAI? So if you want to develop and build an applications toward your generative AI platform in Microsoft Azure, and you want to tailor your needs based upon what type of assistance you require to an application that is possible to curate with the help of your assistant API. So let's see what are the assistant API components available. When it comes to the assistant API components, we have instruction, the model, what are the tools will be available as part of the assistant API. And thread is one of the component of assistant API. You have a user message as well as system message. System message is your assistant message, and user message, user can start typing your messages related to your Azure OpenAI assistants. And we have one more component known as run component and run step component. So these are the overall components of your assistant API. When it comes to an instruction, you can advise what type of system are you going to build and develop in applications. For example, you are building a assistance related to personal finance advisor, or else you are going to build an applications towards a travel assistance, a finance assistance, or a medical assistance, or mathematical assistance, or data analyst assistance. Any system you want to build it with the help of the system, you are going to provide a support to those system components known as your instruction. Whenever you want to use any assistance API in your Azure OpenAI platform, you require a model. Okay. You have to create a model deployment, then only your assistant API started functioning it. When it comes to the model, GPT-4 model, GPT-4o model, GPT-4o mini, your recent models like O1 mini, O1 preview. So those are the models your assistant API provides support to it. In your tools section, you can use code interpreter, functions, as well as files and search. And in the latest one, they mentioned the vector store also possible to include your assistant API. In your thread, each and every time, whenever you load an assistance or you create an assistant, a new thread will start. When I say new thread will start, user can start communicating messages to the system, as well as the user messages can be exchanged with the help of this thread. And inside the run method, you will be able to execute the entire conversations between the system messages as well as your user messages, which is run. So this is the overall components of your assistance Azure Open API. Then let's see the components in detail. As I mentioned earlier, the assistant is nothing but it is going to use your Azure OpenAI models. When it comes to the models, the latest model is also supports your assistant API. And in thread meaning is if I want to have a conversation between your assistants as well as the system messages and user messages, you can go for your thread communication. And message can be created by the assistants to an user. Either it is created by an assistant or it could be created by a user. When it comes to messages, it can include a file, it can include text, images, or any type of format of file. You may able to include it, including the workflow of logic apps is possible in your assistant API. Run method, what is the purpose of this run method is this assistant API every time whenever you load an assistant, the thread will start it about it, and this particular thread is going to append the messages to your assistant API. If you start your assistant loaded it, then your messages will be automatically populated in terms of your thread communication, which is your run step. And the run step meaning is whenever you want to examine or else whenever you want to determine a particular result in your run method, you can go for run step. So these are the ideal components when it comes to your assistance components in your Azure OpenAI Studio, or it could be in your Azure AI Studio. So this is the assistant playground. When it comes to the assistant playground, it is a no code platform where you will able to test your assistant successfully. When it comes to an assistant setup, you can see you can create a assistance, which is a new assistance. You may able to load your assistance with the help of assistant name, and you can provide in the instruction stuff is nothing but the system messages and which model you want to deploy it, which is your model section. We have assistant tools like you can add your own functions, or it could be your Azure Logic App workflows in terms of your functions as concerned. Your code interpreter for mathematical calculations. You can upload a file. Based upon the file, you can test your components in your assistant API. And this is nothing but a chat section. In this chat section, there are two components you can see. One is nothing but clear chat. If I want to clear the entire conversation, you can click the clear chat option. And there is one more option known as view code section. Whatever the messages you started typing in the system messages, that is here, your user message, when you start typing it, the code will be automatically populated in the background, which is known as view code section. And the last important step of your assistant playground is logs. All your communication has been recorded as part of logs using HTTP methods like get method, put method, post method, delete method. Those methods will be registered as logs communication. And in show panels, by default, you can see the clear chat as well as view code. If I click the show panels as a log section, then only this log section will be visible, else your log sections will not be visible as part of the assistant playground as concerned. It's more the next aspect. What are the environmental setup you have to make when it comes to your assistant section? One is you have to provide the assistant's name. Assistant name is user will be started providing the name with the help of your assistant name, which is your assistant name. And instructions is nothing but it is similar to your system messages. What is the overall context of the assistance, what it is going to perform, and what they are going to do it as part of the instruction is concerned. Instruction is nothing but system messages. If you are building your finance assistant, you provide some system messages related to finance related assistance. If you want to create an assistant related to data visualization, you provide some instructions related to data visualization stuff assistance. If you want to create a mathematical assistant tool, you provide a system messages to a mathematical assistant related things, which is your instructions things. Deployment is nothing but your GPT models. The GPT models can be GPT-4, GPT-4o, GPT-4o mini, your O1 mini, O1 preview. These are the models in terms of deployment is supported as part of the assistant environment setup. Function as concerned, you can create your own functions. And I say own functions, if I want to create a functions about a weather prediction or about the stock market exchange prediction, or even you want to create your custom logic app workflows with the help of your orchestration tools, that is also possible to create in your function section. Code interpreter, if you want to execute any Python-based environment in order to execute your mathematical calculations, or any model you want to test it, or any model you want to execute it, go for your code interpreter section. Files, you can upload any CSV file, any type of file you can upload. Maximum amount of file you can upload is 20 files, and the max size of your 5 and 2 in your tool section. But when it comes to your Azure AI Studio, you can upload 10,000 files in your Azure AI Studio, and that is your file section as concerned. So there's a total environmental setup when it comes to your assistant playground as concerned. So these are things I already mentioned it. The assistant environment, if you notice, we have different components available like chat section, clear chat, logs, show panel. Chat section is nothing but if I want to communicate any system messages or any user messages, you can use chat section. And your clear chat, if I want to delete the overall conversation history, whatever so far communicated in your system messages as well as your assistant messages, you can proceed with your clear chat section. Logs, logs is nothing but the detailed activities has to be recorded as part of a snapshot. You can go for log section. The last one is show panel. Show panel is nothing but if I want to add any particular option like chat section or else log section, then you have to use show panels option only. This is about the assistant environment. So before we'll see the tool, let me move on to the Azure portal. In the Azure portal, we have to create one of the resource known as Azure OpenAI because the prerequisite for this Azure OpenAI assistant application is you have to provision one Azure OpenAI. Let me provision one Azure OpenAI. How to provision it, I'll tell you. Click this Azure OpenAI. Just hit the button create. You need to choose your subscription. After you choose your subscription, you have to create a resource group. Resource group is a container where all the Azure resources are placed, known as resource group. Let me create a new resource group. I'm creating a new resource group known as DevRG. So DevRG is my resource group name. In which region you want to deploy the Azure OpenAI service? Let me deploy it in the East US region. And you have to provide the name of the Azure OpenAI. I'll provide the name of the Azure OpenAI. Let's consider Finance Azure OpenAI. And you have to give that pricing tier. I'm giving the pricing tier a standard pricing tier. Because Azure OpenAI don't have any free pricing tier, you have only standard pricing tier. Click this. And you have to follow all the policies of responsible AI, ethical AI, content safety. You have to adhere to the policies as well as governance principles. Then next, next, next. After this, now the validation started checking in the background. Once the validation is successful, the create button will be enabled. If I hit this create button, the deployment will initialize. This initializing phase will become submitting phase. And this will take hardly 2 minutes time to make this particular deployment successful. Once the deployment is successful, you may be able to redirect to your Azure OpenAI playground. Now the deployment is in progress. This will hardly take a minute time to complete the and overall deployment stuff. So meanwhile, let it deploy. We'll move on to our presentation part again. So what are the Assistant API tools available? When it comes to the Assistant API tools, we have an individual assistance. If you want to create any individual assistance, it is possible to include 128 tools. When I say 128 tools, you can use code interpreter, you can use custom tools, you can use functions, you can use search options, you can upload files. So those are nothing but your tools only. So Assistant API tools by default, it consists of code interpreter, files, retrieval, function calling, and you can add your custom functions. You can add your logic app function in terms of workflows orchestration that is possible, which is your Assistant API tools. Let me explain the overall architecture of this Assistant API. When it comes to the architecture, what are the files it supports when it comes to your Azure OpenAI Assistance? It supports PDF, text file, CSV file, HTML. These are the files it supports. When it comes to your model as concern, we have large language model like GPT-4, GPT-4o, GPT-4o mini, O1 preview, O1 mini. GPT 3 Turbo, it's not now compatible with the new Assistant API Playground. Earlier it was compatible. Now GPT 3 Turbo, we are not using it in your Assistant API is concerned in your models. Assistant, which is we have a system message as well as we have an instruction message. That is your assistant tool. Tools, we have files retrieval, code interpreter, and functions and files and search. That is your tools. Run is nothing but if I want to create any runtime environment for your assistant API, you can go for runtime. So we have threads, which is your system messages there, your user messages will be there, which is your threads. Now what will happen is user will be creating the assistant API name first. When you want to create an assistant API, first of all, he has to create a model deployment. Before he create a model deployment, he has to create a Azure OpenAI service. So Azure OpenAI service is the first step to create. Then the second step is he has to create one deployment model, which is LLM model. Then he can create an assistant name. Once the assistant is created, every assistant will be associated with the assistant ID. That assistant ID will automatically populated in your assistant message or in the chat section. The new thread will be started. Okay. So now what user they will provide? He will load the assistant and he will start messaging the entire messages in the chat section. That particular chat section will automatically enable any tools he used, any models he used, any files he used, that will be checking in the background of your assistant API. And what are the prerequisites you require for Assistant API? You need an Azure subscription as well as you require an Azure OpenAI with the model compatibility in terms of region. That is a prerequisite you require. Let's see the code part here. Now the deployment is successfully completed. Just click home and you can click the Azure OpenAI. So already we have provisioned the Azure OpenAI resources. And you can see this is the Azure OpenAI resource. I have already provisioned it. So I'm using the provisioned resource, which has already created. In your resource management section, there is something called as keys and endpoint. So we have two keys, key one and key two, and along with your endpoint and associated with the region. So every key has to regenerate 30 days in order to provide privacy and security in your Azure OpenAI stuff. Go to your overview section. In the overview section, you have to redirect to the Azure OpenAI Studio. Okay. Once you click this, this will redirect to the Assistant Azure AI Playground. The name of the studio is known as Azure OpenAI Studio. And there's a new look of your Azure OpenAI Studio. The old look, now it is going to be deprecated. So I request to use your new look of your Azure OpenAI Studio. Don't use the old look. Old look names are different and new look names are completely different and options also completely different. So as I told earlier, we have various types of playgrounds available. We have early access playground. This particular playground will not be available for everyone. This particular playground only for the Microsoft employees as well as MVPs, the early access playground. Chat playground is nothing but your ChatGPT playground. And you can have your own deployment in your ChatGPT playground, and you can communicate in a ChatGPT playground as well. For example, this is a ChatGPT playground. I'm going to communicate it. I just say hi. I have already deployed the model deployment. So model deployment, I have already provisioned it, and I can ask some questions. So this is the user message. I'm writing a question is write a tagline for ice cream shop. So this is to check whether the GPT models are working fine. Let's check it out. So it is working fine. This is your chat playground section. So we have one more section is known as completion playground. So when it comes to completion playground, we have different types of options that are available in the completion playground. As of now, there is no deployment. You have to create a deployment, then you can use for email generation, code generation, text generation, summarization. All those aspects will be a part of your completion playground only. Image playground, we have two types of models. One is DALI model and DALI 2 model, DALI 3 model. User can provide the prompt and based upon the prompt, you will be able to get the image generator. And you can see that in your deployment section. Under your deployment section, you have to deploy the model as deploy base model. You have to deploy DALI 3. For example, I'm going to deploy DALI 3. So DALI is one of the models. So you have DALI 2, DALI 3. text to images. So these are two models for images. So let me deploy DALI 3 now. Confirm this. So DALI 2 and DALI 3. DALI 3 is a new one and DALI 2 is the old one. And it will ask you the question is how much of the capacity unit you want to use for DALI 2 and DALI 3. So you can provide that. So by default, the DALI 2 has two capacities only, not more than that. You can see the capacity unit for in this region is only one. And if you deploy this, you can see the option. I don't want this dynamic quota. I will be disabling the dynamic quota. Disable this. So I'm deploying the image model is known as DALI 3. I just now deployed this. It is succeeded. If you want to refresh, you refresh it. So you go to the image section now. You can see DALI 3 will be available. DALI 3 and DALI 2 will be available. So I am providing a prompt says that an astronaut wearing a gold jumpsuit and helmet on the moon. Let me hit this generate button. This will automatically started generating it. So very important stuff is whenever you create any new deployment, it will hardly take 5 minutes time to reflect in the playground. So we have to wait for 5 more minutes, then only this particular option will be available in our images playground. So meanwhile time, what we will do, we will go back to the assistant playground. Then we will do that assistant things. So this is the overall assistant playground. The assistant playground, I have already provisioned the deployment. The name of the deployment I provisioned is GPT-4o. And what is the assistant name I have given is math assistant I have given. For this math assistant, by default, when you create an assistant name, an assistant ID will be generated. Also, you can notice a new thread has been started in the chat section. So in your instruction part, you can provide some system messages. So I'm providing a system message saying that you are an AI assistant. You are an AI assistant that can write code to help answer the math questions. This is my instruction I have given it. And tool section, you can see you can turn on the file search. If you want to add a vector store, you can add this. If you want to add a file, you can add a file. If you want to add a code interpreter, because the mathematical option is code interpreter option only, I have enabled it. If you want to add any functions, you can add a function also. So I have already enabled the code interpreter. And I have added one more CSV file as well. This is a CSV file I have added it. So what does the CSV file talks about? Region, country, item name, item type, sales channel, order priority, order date, chip ID, unit sold, unit price, unit cost, total revenue. This is a sales data set. Ideally, it is a sales data set that I have added already in the add file section. So clear chat, you can clear the entire conversation history, and logs, you can already see the logs, and you can see the number of tokens consumed. As of now, we are not consuming any tokens. So token is nothing but every assistant API will be charged based upon the token aspect only. Okay. Let me open. I'll say hi. Let's see the responses. So it has given some response. For example, I'll say 2 plus 2. So this will enable the code interpreter option. This enables the code interpreter option. So it says 2 plus 2 is 4, right? I'm asking a question is, solve the equation 3x plus 11 equal to 14. This particular problem you need to solve with the help of your math assistants. So it has given the answer and it is solved as well. Okay. Okay, I don't know how this has solved it. For this, what I'm going to ask you the question is in the math assistant, show me the code you ran to get this. Then this will immediately show how it is possible to generate this particular problem. So you can see this code. So this type of mathematical assistant is possible when you goes to which option is your code interpreter. So using code interpreter, these are null possible. Now what I will do now, I'll create a new assistant. So this is a mathematical assistant. I don't want to use a mathematical assistant again and again. So what I will do, you can create a new assistant. When you create a new assistant, so it will immediately take in some name. So you can, if you want, you can remove this name. Remove this name. So you can say I'm saying this as data assistance. The data assistance I have given. So what are the parameters are you going to turn on? I'm going to turn on the code interpreter option. I'll turn on the add files. When you want to add the files, this will add the CSV file. Okay. Let me add a CSV file. I'll upload the sales file. The sales file, I just uploaded it. Now it has a sales file. All right. Go to your prompt. Just give. You are a sales assistant, sales data analyst, which you can provide an insights based on the data provided. Okay, this is my system message. Okay. Now what we will do, a new thread will start immediately. If you click this log section, you can see the entire HTTP methods which has been counted for each and every HTTP method, and you can see the token generation as well. That is your log section. Again, go back to your data assistant, load this. What I have to do, I have to minimize the screen, then only it will be visible. Yeah. Now it's visible. Saying write a description for the sales.csv dataset. Okay. So this is going to write a descriptions for the sales.csv dataset. Is there right? Okay. So it is not understanding the sales.dataset. It is asking the specific column name. Okay. So what we will do in terms of a specific column, like which region, we will take the data set, which region is having the highest unit sold? Okay, I'll ask this question, units sold. Okay. Which region the highest units sold from the attached data set? Let's see some visualization. So units sold, okay. So they are to ask irrelevant column names. I should not write lowercase. I have to write exactly the column name. So it is given from the CSV file. It has given me the entire code. It is asking us to paste that particular code in the pandas package, install pandas package, load the data set, and units sold column. It has given the entire action. If you replace this entire code in your Python, then it will give you the entire data analysis. Then what we will provide, summarize the data set, summarize the file using a bar chart for the sales.csv file. For the sales.csv, yeah. Say this. See, the entire code as given. What is the entire code they are given? You can see this. If I want to summarize the file using bar chart for the sales.csv, It has given the matplotlib, which is nothing but the data visualization package. And they are given pd.read_csv as your CSV file. Then region, group by region, and what type of bar chart, what type of chart you want to draw is bar chart. It is given the code. And title, X label, Y label. In order to show that particular graph in a bar chart, that is show method. Paste this code in your Python, you will get this result. See this beauty, you can assist any type of code with the help of your assistant playground. That is your usage, how this assistant playground plays a vital role in your cases. Sometimes what you can do, if you are in the tool section, what we can make, just a second, and close this logs. I'll enable this. Yeah. Again, we will execute it. Again, we'll say the same thing will execute. You can see the difference. If I not turned on the code interpreter, what is happening? If I turned on code interpreter, what is happening? In the old case, we didn't turn on the code interpreter. Okay. Now I turn on the code interpreter. Okay. I'm saying summarize, let's say create a bar chart for the column, what column they are given, region and units sold. Okay. Region and units sold. Units sold for the sales.csv. Okay. For the sales.csv. The sales.csv file. So I specifically now I provided the message saying that create a bar chart for the column region and units sold for the sales.csv file. Okay. Now it is about to generate. See, earlier time, I turned off this code interpreter. It has given me only the code section. It is asking us to put this code in your Python and you can analyze your entire code stuff. Now I had turned on this code interpreter, then immediately the code has given with a proper visualization. Using this type of visualization, you can use this particular tool in any type of data visualization to create any type of model. That is one of the aspect of your assistant playground. So when it comes to your assistant playground, you may able to create any type of assistance is possible. And what is the next one is after this, there is one more area known as function section. In the function section, just click this function section. You can see whether you want to use a custom functions or whether you want to use a logic app function. So you can use the custom actions like get weather, get stock price. You can use it. If I use get weather, I can simply provide some weather name and city. It will provide this. This is just an example. If you want, you can use your own custom functions, or else even you can create your own logic apps with the help of your HTTP trigger. That is also possible to create a workflow orchestration. Then the last part of this section is, that's the last part of the section is your pricing aspect. Just a second, I'll show the pricing aspect, how to do pricing. Azure OpenAI system pricing. So this is your Azure OpenAI pricing aspect. You can see the pricing aspect. If you choose the region, accordingly the pricing will be vary. Every pricing is based upon the tokens only, input token as well as output token. And you will get a maximum one of the error. What error you will be getting, I will tell you. In case when you create a deployment, for example, if you create a deployment, yeah, if you choose a model like GPT 3.5, like GPT 3.5 Turbo, if you use GPT 3.5 Turbo and confirm this model will not compactable for your assistant playground. So most of the people, what is the frequently committing mistake is, they are choosing GPT 3.5 Turbo and the model will not be compactable. That error will get. The another one error you will be getting is sometimes rate limit exceeded error will come. If the rate limit exceeded error will be coming in your assistant playground, then what you have to do is you took any GPT-4 or GPT-4o, GPT-4o mini, O1 preview, O1 mini, you can use it. If you are getting such type of error, immediately you have to increase your token per minute number, you have to increase it. So this is token per minute rate limit. You have to increase this. So you might be wondering, I have already created this. If I want to increase it, if you give less, you will be getting rate limit exited error will come. So how to change it? Go to the deployment, click this. Before you click this, there is an option known as edit option. In the edit option, you can increase your deployment token per limit rate. So this rate limit, you increase it. If you're not increasing it, you will be getting an error information saying that this particular thing is not able to use it, rate limit exceeded error. So this is most important committed error you will be getting when you are working on your assistant playground. Then I was talking about the images. Let's see the image is ready or not. By the time it will be ready. You can see this. The image is generating now. You can copy the prompt, you can generate a new image, you can download the image to local, you can delete the image, and you can show the code as well. So this is DALI 3. You can got the image, you can download this. If you want, you can show the code and use it in the application development as well. That's it. Let's say your assistant API, this is a cost. Assistant API cost is file search is this much. Your code interpreter cost is this much per session. That's it. I'll open this session for questions. Thank you so much. And you can follow my LinkedIn handle as well as my YouTube channel handle. This is my LinkedIn handle as well as YouTube channel handle. In the YouTube channel handle, I'll show you all the internship videos as well as your scholarship related videos, your technology related videos. You can see it here in the internship. Okay. And if you join the Microsoft Learning Room, we have a Microsoft Learning Room concept is there. In my Microsoft Learning Room, the name of the Microsoft Learning Room is Microsoft Tech Talks. There's a learning room. If you join in this learning room, you have to fill the Microsoft form, fill the Microsoft form. Then you may able to avail 50% discount on your Microsoft certifications. This is one. If you want to avail the 50% Microsoft certification, please fill these form. Then you can avail the 50% discount as well. I'm providing on the chat. I'll provide my channel link on the chat for the internship opportunities as well as your certification opportunities. Feel free to on the YouTube channel. So October month, I'll be posting free certifications with 100% discount videos. Please check out. Then I'll open the session for questions. That's it.
Thank you, Janal, for session. I think there is a Q&A session, and where at the top you can see there's one question. I think there was one another question in the chat box during the session as well.
Okay, let me open it. What was the question? Can students account in Azure apps like that? Okay. Students, you can use Azure. Okay. Is it possible to use students account to create an Azure assistance? Yes, you can create it. If you are a student, you can use your student account to create your assistant. Yeah, it is possible. Is it similar to using Ola, Llama? If not, what's the difference? See, there is Llama model is completely different. There's assistant is playing with your all recent GitHub models as well as your which one? The SLM models, like small language models, and the new Strawberry models. There is a new model. OpenAI has announced O1 Preview, O1 Mini, okay, which is was supported by your Azure OpenAI assistant. The other things are not supported. This one is supported, by other one is not supported. Any other questions? Okay, I think someone asking about attendance and the certification. So check out my channel links. You'll get the certifications. I'll be posting some free certifications. If you're a student, I'll post some GitHub certification as well as Microsoft certification. You can avail that. Any other questions? Should have opened over to you. I think there is no question. I think so.
Yes, I think there was a question in the chat box. Uh, it, it is from Zakaria. As you DALI 3.0 is an image generator. What does other AI which need money to use?
DALI is completely free. I'll tell you how to use free DALI model also. Just a second. If there is a question in just a minute, I will tell you to ask that. There is one more way to use DALI free. Even students can use it. I will tell you how to use it. If you're a student, I don't have the Microsoft account. Is it possible to use DALI in any other way? There is a way to use it. I'll share my screen one more time. Let me know once it is visible.
Yes, it's visible.
Okay, now you can see this was a Copilot. Okay, so when it comes to Copilot, you can try it in the mobile edition as well as in your web edition and your office email ID or else even a student personal email ID also. You just type create image, create an image for an astronaut. We are in a gold jumpsuit and helmet on the moon. Hmm. This will create along with the DALI 3. If you're not having access of an Azure OpenAI, you can do this one. This is completely free. See, the image is about to generate. DALI 3. Clear? I like one of this aspect. What is the aspect I liked it from this one is even you can generate a song also. I'll generate a song as well. For generating a song, you have to turn on one of the plugin. The name of the plugin is Suno plugin. Generate a song. I am the developer. Generate a song on the team. I am the developer. I am the pilot. Okay. This will generate a song as well. Okay, it is generating. Meanwhile, I will turn on my sound on my audio so that everyone can listen the song. Okay, it is done. You can see this. Are you able to see this? The entire song, it is clear given the lyrics as well. You can see lyrics. So this is possible with the help of your Copilot. Any other questions, Surag, from the chat? Is it showing what is the given attachment? Okay, you can even attach your file and you can ask also. That is also possible. That's also possible to attach your file and you can ask it. Can you give me the YouTube link one more time? Okay, I'll provide my YouTube link one more time. So one more people are asking a question. Is there any next month session? Yes, I'll give one session to you, Sarag, for next month. I think most of the people are asking the question.
Sure, that would be great. So
Can
if
the
you can
free
also share
subscription
about
account
the
provide this? Yes, the free subscription account also will provide this. For students, it is completely free. You have to log in with your college email ID to get that, or else institution email ID to get this.
is also Shanadhan, if you can share some of the experience in code without barriers, that would be also great for everybody to
Okay,
try out
so
as
I
well.
was a mentor for Code Without Barriers, and I won in the month of July 2024. It was completed. I have completed the session. The session is about, I was talking about the sessions like the AI 900. So AI 900 is starting from the basics, what type of questions will come, how to prepare for the exam, everything we used to provide. And since I was a part of a Microsoft Learn Expert, um, I'm be providing 50 percentage voucher on all the certifications. If you join in my Microsoft Learn room, you'll be getting that. And mentoring part, it is fantastic mentoring people who are joining on time. The entire credentials of the Azure subscription, which is provided by Code Without Barriers team. So no need to worry about it. Okay, they will provide you the entire subscription link, entire access for your project. They will be providing that. Okay. So no need to worry about that. They are providing it. You will get that. Okay. And it is a fantastic opportunity for everyone, not only for women employees, also for the men employees and men students, women students. You can use your code without barrier session. And you can feel free to connect me on YouTube, on LinkedIn as well. Okay, I'll be providing the assistant as well in terms of the internship opportunities, job opportunities, as well as the scholarship opportunities and the technology related opportunities also there in the YouTube channel. So you can follow that. Okay. And if you have any questions, you can ping me on the LinkedIn handle as well as the YouTube handle. So thank you so much everyone who are participating on this particular 1 hour session. And we will launch some session extensively like a 2 hour program curated for your needs like a co-pilot, different types of co-pilot. We will do in the upcoming session. I'll touch base Surag to get more on that so that you will also get benefit from Microsoft as well. For students, GitHub Copilot, GitHub as well as one more certificate. I'll post you in the YouTube by coming week. GitHub as well as some Salesforce certification as well as the Microsoft certification, which is completely free for all the students. I'll tell you the link as well as I'll post it. You can watch out that. And Microsoft has announced AI Skill Challenge. Please participate in the AI Skill Challenge as well. Okay. If you participate in the AI Skill Challenge, you will be getting the certificate from Microsoft as well as the digital match from Microsoft as well. So participate in the Microsoft Skill Challenge program as well. Thank you so much, Surak. Thank you so much, all the participants, all the students, all the working professionals who are taking time to attend this on the exclusively on Saturday. I hope for everyone, it is useful to you as well as a fantastic day ahead. Surav, over to you.
Thank you, Janardhan, for joining as well on a Saturday weekend, evening time. Everybody's ready to shut down and do something else. Really appreciate it. And thank you, everybody, to taking the time on the weekend as well. I hope you learned something new today and make sure you use it as well. That's it for the day. And I shared all the link in the chat box, and Janardhan also shared it. And I'll make a curation of it and have it as a single message so you can check it out in a one go. And certificate link will be provided. Before that, you have to join the community as well so that you do not miss our upcoming sessions as well. That's it from my end. Thank you, everybody, and have a good day.
Thanks, everyone.